everyone. Welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies and build update number 1 of Revell's Peterbilt 359 conventional kit. This is a low part count kit, I've been told. It's also a snap tight kit or snap lock kit. Pretty much I said you don't really need to use glue, but we've used a little bit already. So even though I'm in a snap tight group build, we had to use a little bit, but I'll show you why in a second here. Let me get the guys out of the way here, and we'll fire this update up. I'm going to move the frame out of the way for just a little bit, and all that. And Daisy, you blended right in there. And I wanted to start off with this engine, and I'm telling you, this son of a gun's got some serious detail in it, especially for just a little snap tight kit. Let me pull you in here so we can keep in focus and in frame. Check this out. The block is so awesome. The details, we have all kinds of lines going on here. The starter's molded in, but it's easy to paint. I'm not done with it yet, of course. I'm going to do more than just gloss black. But what I've done so far is I've taken my Tamiya's XF60, which is called dark yellow, and I painted all the engine parts pretty much that. And it is flat. I mean, it is flat as flat can be. And I knew that. So what I did after I got all that is I came back with 2 coats of Quick Shine. And I covered the whole thing with 2 coats of Quick Shine, and then I came in and started doing my detail work. I used chrome silver for the turbo parts, a little bit of flat white for the filter, and I'm just using flat white for right now. I might switch that over to like a Fram orange. Probably will, but I just threw the flat white in there just so I'd remember to to not leave it that way. But the detail in this, look at the turbo detail. Very nice. I mean, all the way around, this thing is just packed full of it. Another filter and front assembly here. I'm not going to even try to name all these parts because I have no clue what they are, but it came out real good. Another filter, I painted it again with the flat white and then Quick Shine over top of that. A little bit of rubber black on the hoses here. I think that's going to look really good. My front end and alternator, painted the alternator flat aluminum. It's going to have to get another coat because I hit it with a Quick Shine. I was going and just kept on rolling. That way I got the brackets real good, and I could flat aluminum that out and detail it up. But I'm happy with this, and like I said, I'm not going to go super detailed with this kit because it is my first semi in, I guess I'd want to say 48 years. So I'm just going to enjoy the build. The heads, bottom part of the blower, and it's looking really, really good. Nice detail. Very nice detail. This piece of, that was actually, I'm sorry, this is flat aluminum, not chrome silver. And what I did is I used my 0.2 millimeter Mobius brush, airbrush. And I came in, I had all this, and I painted the block and everything with the 0.2 just because all the little cracks and crevices, and I could get that thing in there with low pressure and get a good coverage on there. I think I was spraying at about 8 or 9 psi, to be honest with you. The flat yellow also, the whole thing. And then I thought, you know what? I sprayed this whole thing with the flat aluminum. And then I started spraying this, and I thought, you know what, how far up can I go? Well, look at the cut line on this thing, and there is no paintbrush used on that. That's just that 0.2 millimeter Mobius. I kind of angled it around a little bit here and there, just so I wouldn't spatter up on it. I was kind of coming in this way, and as I saw where I was putting the paint, I rolled the airbrush around this way, and I caught it all the way up onto this little lip on here, and then painted backwards down onto all this. And then this I painted over top of the flat aluminum once I was done. There was no way I was going to try to cut that in. This was still all white, and I just sprayed the whole thing. But I couldn't believe that I was able to get that brush that tight with that low pressure. And I had to go back and forth a little bit to build up to where I had good coverage. But look at it, there's nothing on top of this. The only thing I put over top of this dark yellow is the quick shine. No kidding around. I mean, that thing really did a good job. So I'm starting to feel a lot more confident. Now the alternator I did brush on because I did this before I did this. Or else I would have probably tried to do that, and there's no way like I would have been able to do across the top here. My hand's just not sturdy enough for that. So I just dry brushed that, or just brushed that whole thing on there. But that was pretty cool. The detail in these, like I said, is just spectacular for a push-together kit. I plan on doing some heavy weathering on this. Well, not heavy weathering, but I plan on weathering this pretty good. That's why nothing's put together, because I can layer, I can do my weathering in layers. I'll do it on this, and then like where this, well, one of these comes on here. I don't even know where what goes where right now. But, you know, that doesn't go on here. That goes on this side, I believe. But like that'll be underneath it, and then this will get weathered, and that way I won't have it to where I'm weathered here and not underneath or anything like that. This whole thing will be weathered, and it'll be an even weathering on there. But you can see I can't just kind of fit this in. It's kind of bugging me because I can't dry fit anything with these. So, but it's really coming together nice. The engine's super detailed especially for a snap tight kit. And then we're going to add to it the pulley and belt. I used the flat rubber on this, which is not flat rubber, rubber black. The XF85 rubber black. Love this. I use this a lot. But it really shows up the cog belts. But I'm really happy with this. Going to weather everything else out. Just have to watch that I don't weather the belt. And I will put some belt marks on here. I have to go online and see if this is a single or a double belt. And if it's a double belt, I'm going to actually put like one mark down here and then one on up here on the other side. So I'm kind of hoping I find that that's double belt right next to each other on the shiv, but we'll see. Then this came out great too. And that's flat aluminum and then rubber black on here. It's way too clean. It's going to get dirtied up heavily. You know, I'm going to make this thing a used truck. It's going to be worker truck. So it's not going to stay really clean. I'm going to have a good paint job on it, but I'm not going to leave it nice and clean like it is here. This is going to get rusted out pretty good. The blower assembly where it comes off and where all the heat is, that's got to get weathered out real good too. It's not flat aluminum like that or steel like that. 5 minutes after it's run, that's going to start changing that color. So now let me get all the engine parts out of the way. And we're going to talk about my LA Awesome. This chrome was so thick that it was taking away a lot of the detail on here. So I opted to throw a bunch of this in LA Awesome. My front bumper, I wanted to leave it alone, but it had a big gouge all the way down to the plastic across the front here. So I chucked it in the LA Awesome too. The rims, they were just, you could hardly even see the bolts on them. It was so thick in there. So I chucked them in there. It took 2 days to dissolve all this. And on the front here, 2 full days before it was down to the plastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the stuff that I stripped the chrome off. Now the fuel tanks, they were okay. They could have been left alone, but when I put the one together, the seam down here where this should be flat as heck on both sides was huge. So I needed to sand that down real hard, and then I decided we're going to sand all the seams down. I got some putty going on here right now. It's just got on there about 15 minutes ago, so it's got to dry overnight, and then I'll sand that back out, and we'll try to make these. I mean, it's not going to be 1,000%, but we'll get rid of some of that seam line, and it'll look a lot better. Now, the other tank was horrible. It really was. Look at how much putty I have on this. It was kind of went together this way on there. So when I put them together, there was no way hiding that seam. So I chucked the whole fuel tanks already assembled in the LA Awesome. And this is what made it to where I was like, all right, if I'm going to do these, I'm doing all of this. So all of this went in. The exhaust pipes went in because I didn't want that seam coming down here on either side on the pipes. I just threw them in there. What the heck? In for a penny, in for a pound. These I didn't even want chrome. That's why they're in there. I'm making a mess behind the scenes here. I didn't want these chrome. The diamond plate, it should be like bright steel and aluminum. So the steps are going to get, I'll probably do chrome silver on the top and on the diamond plate and flat aluminum on the 2 sides, or maybe even black on the 2 sides, the semigloss black. But that chrome was just too chrome for these. And the diamond plate, you could see it, but it lost way too much of its detail. So all the diamond plate got thrown into the LA Awesome. My little cylinder that goes on the side, it got chucked in the LA Awesome. I didn't want that big thing of chrome. What I'll do is I'll paint the straps chrome, and then I'll have this the body color, and then we'll detail out the rest of it as soon as I figure out what like those are for. And on the top, it looks like there's something here, and I don't know what it does, so I got to figure that out too. But there's all that with stripping the chrome. My rear ends, I painted semi-gloss black, and then the bags, I used the rubber black on them. And again, when I detail or when I weather this out, this is going to look a whole lot better, because you can't leave it, it's not going to be this clean underneath that truck. No way. So we'll weather these out real good, both of them. They seem to go together okay, but those bags came out really good. I like that color. That rubber black is perfect for that, and it brushed on so nice. So we got them. Our whole frame, here, I have control here. The whole frame got painted semi-gloss black all the way down, and there's a reason for that, as I wanted this to be semi-gloss black underneath there, just to show off, like I want to show off the The air flasks, I painted these flat aluminum after I sanded them all down and everything. All 4 of them. Those are going to go underneath. I will do some airline work underneath here. I'm not lighting this. There's no way I'm going to even try to light this one, just because I don't know enough about what I'm doing to even think about that. But the detail in here really popped when I painted this with the semi-gloss black. And again, there's going to be a reason for this. I'm going to have a fuel tanker for the back of this, and I was told, this shouldn't be there shouldn't be a cab on the back for a fuel tanker, but this is what I got for a snap tight, and we're going to go with it until I build something else. But I mean, it is what it is. It's going to look great next to the Texaco station anyhow. But the detail is fantastic, and I'm going to dirty this up pretty good. Like I said, doing it in layers. I'll do this and the rear ends and everything. I'll get my hoses figured out where I'm going to run them. The flasks will go in, the tanks will go on the side, and then we'll run all that stuff. Detail it out. I didn't take this off just because I wanted it on there. I wanted to be able to see that in the end. It's going to be pretty much hidden, but I still wanted to see it. So I left it on. It's going to be my truck. I'm not taking it to show or to be judged. So it is, and then like the diamond plate on the back here is going to look so good with the flat aluminum on there, or the chrome silver on there, with everything else. But we got that. Our skid plate, I'm going to have to figure out how to make that look like I got a bunch of grease on there, and then scratch marks coming up here with my weathering. But we're not even close to there yet. But I did a lot of semi-gloss black the other day. Like a half a bottle worth of semi-gloss black inside the rims. These trucks really do take up a lot of paint. And I got a whole bunch sitting behind me that I haven't carried over yet. This is part of the exhaust, and I'm not sure if I should go back and paint this flat aluminum. I wanted to ask everybody that, because I don't know. But this is the crossover for the 2 pipes. And I'm not sure if this should be flat aluminum and then rusted out, or if I should just leave it the semi-gloss black. So anybody out there that can help me out with that, I would really appreciate that. The tires are horrible with this kit. So I'm going to be working these tires out. I have one of them that's split. So I'm going to put in a call to Revell and see if I can get, well, not one, I got 3 of them that are split. But I ordered some of this 3/8 inch foam insulation packing. And I was told by Robert that if I put this in here and wrap it around, these tires will fit on better. And I did it just to test it, and it does. I pulled it back apart. I'm going to do a video on this just to show everybody, because I looked online to try to see how they were doing it, and I couldn't find one. So I'll get a video with how long these are supposed to be cut, how to put them inside the tire and everything. It'll only be like a 5-minute video at the most, but it would have sure helped me out if I had that on there. The body, I have finally figured out what I'm doing with this. I'm only going to tell you what I'm doing with the base coat. And I'm going to go, since this is going to be the Texaco station, and I'm going to have the tanker truck tied in, I'm going to use the Park Green. I love this color. I ordered another bottle of this. It should be in soon, but I'm going to use Park Green on this, just like I did with my tow truck. Don't worry about, we're not doing red. Again, I'm not going to do a huge Christmas tree semi. But I am going to put some stripes down here and some work. I'm going to do some decal on the door, but we're going to run some stripes up, and I want to tie the stripes that I do in here with the tanker truck in the back. So we're going to get this base coated and ready, and then I'm going to stop the build on this, and I'm going to actually build the whole tanker first so that I can come back and get the two of them together and line up these stripes to go across the back of the tanker. But I have a cool idea, and I think it's going to work. I won't know for 100% until I see the tanker. Again, I'm super glad that these aren't attached, because I'm going to be able to paint these separate, and they'll be out of the way for when I do the stripe. Just for the masking, I can get my hands down in here and work the stripe. So that's really cool. But look at how big everything is on here. I haven't done anything with the interior yet, except for clean everything up, because I'm still kind of wavy on if I'm going to go tan or brown in here. I know this is going to get dark brown on the dashboard, but I'm not sure. I don't want to do black, so I might do where'd it go? Up here, my it's dark yellow again, I'm sorry, but my desert tan, or the buff that I have, that I'm moving all over the place, my buff XF57, it's a little bit lighter than the dark yellow. I use this so much, I have 2 bottles of that. I'm getting real low on the one. But I think I might use this, and then with the seats we'll use this, and then I'll come back and I'll use some gray panel liner on the seats to give them a little bit of leather look. So there we go. The bed's going to definitely, the mattress or the blanket is definitely going to get the like a dark gray color, because that's going to be like the navy blanket we had in the coupes and the navy. I think that'll look really good, and then just a pillow on here. I was thinking it'd be neat to do like a Star Wars theme on here, like a little kid's blanket or something like that, but the heck with that. I'm just going to do the gray with the USN. I'll make a little USN decal or try to hand paint it on there. So that'll be really cool. And with that, I'm going to let you go. I'll see you here real soon. Like I said, I got a long way to go before I get out of paint, but we're making progress. So I'll have the engine done. I might do an update for the engine when it's done, because I am going to add things to it and detail it, and then we'll talk about how I weathered it too. So with this, I will let you go. Thanks for the thumbs up, the kind remarks, the hey, you're doing this wrong. I really need that with this build. And again, what color am I supposed to do that? Thanks a lot for watching. Y'all have a great day and a better tomorrow.